Okay, the next one will be called the histogram. You start the same way. You say df and the pipe operator. You start the same way. What should be the next function? Same thing, it should be ggplot and AES. You start the same way. But in this case, you put the numeric variable, not the categorical. Put the numeric variable here. So let's do it for followers. Now, should I put a plus or a pipe operator? Plus, remember plus. What should be the next function if you can guess? Geom underscore. No, we did the bar. Histogram. So just make a note, the function for histogram will be geom underscore histogram. And open a bracket. What do we do here? We give the, no, we gave the variable here, the x-axis and aesthetics. We just give the color and the border. So how do you give the color? The same way it will be fill. Give me a color, somebody. Green. Okay, and give me a border color. Black again. Okay. What do I put at the end? Plus and enter. Let's do the whole thing. Labs. X equal to let's call it followers. Y equal to frequency. Very good. And comma title. In double quotes, you say histogram. Right, just so far, everybody understand what we did. It's the same as the bar chart, but there is one additional thing here, which you have to give in the geom histogram. It's called the bin width. Just make a note, in geom histogram at the beginning, you have to give something called as bin width. We'll see what it means when we run the graph. And this will be a number, let's say 250 or something, and put a comma. This one will be given in the problem. Just make a note, the bin width will be given in the problem, or you can pick a number. Title is histogram, but you can give whatever title you want. Let's do it better so you can see it. And if you run this much, look at that. This is your histogram, which is connected. Okay, so the histogram has to be connected. Yeah, it means over here there are no data values. So the bin width is the size of the bar here. So it's 0 to 250, 250 to 500, 500 to 750, and so on. So he's saying 0 to 250, there are 4 values. Then 250 to 500, that is 1 value, and so on. Now just make a note for the histogram, we will not give different colors to the bar. It's a bit difficult to give different colors to the bar for histogram. It needs a lot more coding. So for histogram, we will only pick single color. Okay, so the histogram is pretty simple. If you do this 500 and run this, look at that, it's a bit better. It's more connected and wider. No, so if there should be better if there are no gaps in your bars. It's better if they all are connected. Yeah, so in here, it's difficult to see that there are empty values. So yeah, that's a good point. Just make a note. It's always a good idea that after df, you give the filter and get rid of the empty value. So in this case, you say followers not equal to. I just look here 1 second. If you look at the data frame, in the numeric values, it will say NA rather than empty. So in double quotes, you'll have to put NA. Does that make sense, what I just said? Yeah, you do the pipe operator. And control enter. Does that make sense? Always do the filter before the ggplot to get rid of the empty cells. Let me just show you one more thing, then you can practice. We did filter followers not equal to NA. Because if you look at the data frame, in the followers, there are a lot of cells which are empty. The empty cells, yeah. You do the filtering. One more cool thing here for the bar chart. I just look here. If you run this, it looks like this. But for the simple graph, let's try for the simple graph first. If over here, you put a function which is called as coord underscore flip. Right, so after the geom bar, if you put a function called as coordinate flip, any guesses what will happen? So rather than vertical, it will be a horizontal graph. So if sometimes you want to make a horizontal graph, you have to give the function coordinate flip. Let's see if it works. Look at that. Sometimes this looks better. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So after the geom bar, if you give coordinate flip, it will flip the graph horizontal. So now the x-axis is actually your y-axis, and your y-axis is the x-axis. Flip the coordinates. Does that make sense? Very good. So that much for the midterm. Up till here on the midterm. Let me stop the recording.